In July 2025, after returning from holiday, we sold everything we owned in just 3 weeks and left our homeland of Canada for a new life and new adventures in the jungles of Panama, arriving August 1st of that year. In February 2026, we decided to purchase an almost 1-acre property and create the homestead we have been dreaming of since 2008. Follow along as we tear down, redesign, and rebuild this derelict land into our dream homestead property. He's moving. Hi, Mom. So our pool has kind of got a ring around it.
That's about? Okay.
Yeah. And so we've tried all the things, CLR, all of that, and it's not working. So Brad thought maybe if we took the water out of it, we got to clean it anyway. And
Call on your Cabana boy.
yeah, got my Cabana boy down there with the pressure washer, and he's trying to get the ring from the collar. So we decided to drain the pool. There was a lot of calcium buildup on the sidewalls. We decided to try putting the pressure washer on it, see if we could clean that up. There's a couple of other little bits and bobs, like the light. Our LED fancy light stopped working, of course. So we wanted to take it apart, find out what the bulb was. So we just drained it, cleaned the whole pool out, and we've refilled it. And I can tell you, I'm sure I don't need to. I was in here before it was even full. Okay, so I've just dropped Brad off at his massage appointment. Today's Monday, so we're having some issues with the therapist that we chose. Brad is not particularly happy with the way things are going with his actual massage, and I do all the paperwork because he's a veteran. It all has to be submitted and they reimburse us. All of this stuff goes on. So I'm not getting the receipts in a timely manner. I just now, Monday morning, it's about 11 o'clock, got the receipt for Friday, and that's not gonna work for me. because my memory is terrible and I need to stay on top of these. I do them right away. That way I don't forget anything. and it's been a smooth transition. It's been great. And so I don't want to mess with that. And so I booked him in this morning with a different therapist, and we'll see how that goes. I have another appointment for him next Monday with another therapist, and a third message this morning. She would like to try him out as well. So odds are good that we're gonna get a different therapist, but you just never know. Brad requires very deep tissue. He is a rock, and that's why he needs 2 massages a week, because his muscles just go completely stiff, and he has a lot of trouble. His body twists. Anyway, it's a thing. So he goes twice a week, and this is why. So we need to make sure that he's getting the massage. The treatment itself has to be what he needs. That's the most important thing for his just basic mobility. And then of course I need the paperwork in a timely manner. So I've just stopped and I'm going to pick up a cup of coffee for Brad. So when he comes out of massage, he has that, because where we go to get that is on the opposite side of the highway. If you watched any of these videos at all, you will know you want to be on the right side of the highway. It's a thing. So anyway, so I'm going to pick up the coffee, and then when I pick him up, then we're ready to go. We need to do a run to Costco, or also known as Price Smart here in Panama, and it's basically a Costco. I need a few things, and certain items you can only get in certain places, and because one of those things happens to be in Costa Verde, I might as well go to Costco and do a proper shop. I've noticed something different today. In Panama, the kids are out of school from early December, late November maybe, until evidently today. They are back in school. There are uniforms everywhere along the road. Yeah, they wear a uniform here, which is, I think, amazing. And they get like 3 months. Their summer holiday is over what would be considered winter back home. So December until evidently March. Okay, and in that time I also managed to pick up some clothes. There's a new, well, I didn't notice it before, but there's a store here called Yajoy, something like that, and it's kind of like, oh, what's the name of that place? I'll put it here because it will come to me. Can't think of it. Anyway, but it's not as, it's like a regular store, but it is used items. It's not just a million things thrown into a space. They have like racks. It looks like a regular store, but they are clearly used. Although, to be fair, not everything I bought was used. Some of it is new. It still has tags on it. So anyway, I got a bunch of new tops, just stuff for hanging about the house and being on camera. But you know, relaxing, nothing too fancy, because we're really just hanging by the pool or gardening or whatever. So I spent like 30 bucks and I got a bunch of new tops. our water holding tank. So from down below where the water pump house is. Okay, so our water... Okay, so this morning, last night actually, we noticed that there was a lot more water at the entrance of the pool house than usual. And so this morning, we didn't really think much of it last night. This morning, we actually went in there and had a look, and the big holding tank, the water big holding reservoir that we have in there for situations where the water stops coming up the hill, it had a leak at the connection. And anyway, we spent all day online trying to find a plumber, because plumbing is not really like a profession here, apparently. It's more of a every Joe does it kind of thing. And so it's kind of hard to... Anyway, I tried to find a plumber, and I don't even know what to say. Anyway, there's a guy who came. He actually took the bus, which I can't even... I don't know. He took the bus. So we were like rolling our eyes. But by this time we found out he was on the bus. He was already on the bus. So we're like, okay, let's see what he can do. So he's here at the minute, and he drained the entire pump, bucket. Everything's a bucket, remember? So he's drained the entire bucket, which is 750 liters. And he took all the fittings off of it to find that there was a crack, just a hairline crack, about 1/8 of an inch. And he took out his like a saw blade, like a hacksaw blade, and he was shaving the outside of it where it's all rough and there were bits sticking up everywhere. So he has taken all of those little bits and bobs off of the tank and asked for a lighter. So, I mean, I get where he's going with that. It's a big tank. 750 liters is not small. So, anyway, we'll see what happens from there. Okay, so you'll remember in last week's video that we had a praying mantis, 2 of them actually, in the house, one day and the next. And so I was trying to figure out how something that big would get in. I mean, you know, it's this long. But anyway, we have a vent here for the master ensuite, which is where the praying mantis was. And it doesn't have a cover on it. So I got some windscreen, just bug netting, and I have put it on there with some marine glue, which, let me tell you, the stuff holds magic. It works great. The little covers for the outlets, the sucker outer pipes when I empty the pool, they were not attached. Whatever glue they had used had come loose. So I got this marine glue and redid it. But Brad had already turned the inside pool on, the main pool, before I got it put down. And so it was I did it underwater. And the thing is holding. It's solid, like it's not moving at all. So I'm pretty impressed with this glue. We're going to keep a stock of it. But anyway, I've used this there up on here, and I will trim it. I just did this morning. So I will trim it and maybe put some, I don't know, glue some wood trim around it maybe, or I don't know, I'll make it look relatively presentable. It's in the alley, so, you know, doesn't have to look that great. But I'll try and get some trim and trim it out a little bit so that it looks like it's finished. I don't know if I mentioned that. That is the vent for the ensuite. So when you're having a shower, you just turn the vent on. It's a huge vent on the inside of the bathroom, and it sucks all the things in. But of course, everything can go up into it also and come out the other side. So I'm pretty sure that was where they came in from, because something that big is not just going to go through the patio door. Now, while I was at it, I also found that we have a pipe up here. Wait, hold on, I gotta get my finger there. That didn't have a cover on it either, so I got some of the mesh and just zip tied a piece around it. Also, the air conditioners, where the wires go up into the ceiling, was just an open hole. And so, like, the main ceiling, the main holes, these ones, sorry, my hand is not cooperating. These ones have a mesh over top of them to stop anything from getting in there. But the ones with the electrical for the AC units going in did not. So I used some of that mesh and just sort of created like a pocket and put it in there. So hopefully it'll be enough. But it'll at least be better than a wide gaping hole, right? When the gardeners were here last week, we had them, they did something or other to the driveway because it was all grown in with grass, and we wanted to get back to the pebble, I guess. It's pebble. And so they did, and all of the greenery died. But I do notice that it is in some spots coming back. So next week when they come, we will get them to hit it again. Okay, so I'm in the pool shed here now. This is the problem child. And it has been fixed. We're gonna just leave it overnight to let all the caulking, because there's quite a bit of caulking in there as well. So we want to let that all set overnight before we turn it on and fill her up. once we fill it up, we will know how well it holds, and we might have to get a new tank, but let's try this and see how it goes. Good morning. Today is Wednesday. We have a technician here because when we purchased the property, we did an inspection, all the things, and the 2 air conditioners in the back bedroom, although one worked, it appeared to have a leak, and the other one did not work. So we have a technician here at the seller's expense to do the things, make them both work. So he's here. He said they just need new Freon and maintenance, upkeep, and so he's cleaning them right now, and then they will be good to go. We are also separately getting a quote to have an air conditioner put in the bedroom. We don't really like air conditioning. It's a thing, probably just in our heads, but we don't use it. I don't want to be breathing just in case. So we try not to even turn them on. We have never turned them on since we've lived here in a month, and it's been some damn hot some days, but I don't even think about it. My go-to is the pool. If you're hot, get in the pool. So he's here and he'll get them sorted, and at least we have the option. We were sitting there while the air conditioner guy was here, and all this ruckus was going on in the pump house, and I thought, something's exploding. Some piece of kid is making a racket. So I go in there, and there is Iggy. It's gonna have to be the name. Iggy the iguana was in the shed. So, lesson 1, always close the shed door. And lesson 2, well, I got nothing. Always close the shed door. Now it turns out, because I googled it, that Iggy will eat duck eggs and chicken eggs, just like the snakes, I suppose. So that's something we'll have to keep in mind. But they will also, iguanas they are technically omnivore. They will eat meat, but they are herbivores for the most part. But they will eat meat if they're hungry. Usually in places where it's not their natural habitat. This is obviously their natural habitat, so we might get lucky. But it's something we will have to be aware of for sure. So while we had Mr. Man here, the AC guy, we asked for a quote to put AC in the master bedroom. It doesn't have AC in there. We don't use it anyway. We have a fan and it's great. But we just thought for future, like for a resale kind of thing, if the kids want to sell it, then it might be handy to have that in there. And so we got a quote, and it came back at $517 and change. Tomorrow we have a guy coming to give us a price for some screen doors. You guys know where our big patio doors are, and they are double wide, like they open right up. So the sun comes beating in through there, the bugs. We leave it open all the time for air circulation, and I just think that if we can put a screen across there, we'll at least filter some of that sun. Plus it will keep all the flying insects out. So we're going to get a guy in and get a price on that. That's kind of a priority number 1. Priority number 2, I think, is going to be electrifying the gate, because that's a bloody nuisance, and especially in rainy season. Priority number 3 will be, well, we've already ordered. I ordered the cover for this thing, so that will be at least parked underneath, but we still need to be able to get from A to B. And we do have umbrellas in the car, so I mean it's not that big of a deal, but we do want to put up a proper carport thing, and so that we can get from the, you know, straight into the house without getting soaking wet. So that's on the agenda somewhere, but it's not urgent. And of course we need to get the compost area set up. Although we've burned a lot of garden bits and bobs, there's still quite a bit to go, and we need to get the compost sorted out so that we can get that started, because that takes a lot of time. Because it's clear now that Iggy is a part of our day-to-day life, it might not be a bad idea to put some kind of little fair-sized container in here with some water in it for them to use the pool, because I don't want them in my pool. Because when I want to go in my pool, I want to go in my pool, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to find a bird feeder. You know, like we used to have in Canada, a rather large bird feeder that we hung on a shepherd's hook, and all the birds came and they loved it. And we had so many birds, but right now I haven't been able to find one. I don't know. I haven't looked on Amazon. Maybe I should look on Amazon, and I'll add it to our wish list. Hello again. Today is Thursday. Brad is having his massage. We had the door guys come this morning. They were there for literally 90 seconds. Took the measurements to create a screen door for the big patios, and then they were gone. So now it's massage day. Brad is having his massage. He's trying out a new girl today. He's trying out 3 different ones to find a good one that will fit. And so his massage is literally right there, and I am waiting for him right here because I ain't nobody's fool. This is gorgeous. You see the multicolored sand, the dark black sand and regular sand. It's beautiful. This one gets kudos from me just for location alone. This is amazing. I could handle hanging out here waiting for him every day. Well, twice a week.